Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the Colonial Dungeon, this is the Court Martial Podcast! Introducing your host for this evening, he has a bald spot on the top of his head, and he weighs in tonight at a number you don't need to know. He is the Colonial Loudmouth, Sean McCarty!
And welcome to another Court Martial Podcast. I am, as always, your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty. Today it is draft week 2. Picks 16 through 30 in our Ultimate Fantasy Draft, which will lead to our presenting of 2 booked shows. Joining me in the booth today is, as always, my partner in crime, and particularly in the crime of just saying outlandish things that get me demonetized before I even have the amount of people necessary to get demonetized, because that's how offensive they are. A man who cares not about anyone's opinion, including his own, especially his own. Please welcome JoshAgeddon. Welcome back.
I like them big, and I like them chunky.
See? If that isn't a perfect example of what I'm talking about, I mean, that is exactly what I mean. And joining me across the table is the proprietor of the National Wrestling League, a man who drafted a B+ roster last week, hoping to redeem himself this week. And that is not just because he drafted Daniel Bryan, but because it is an overall fact, the developmental territory to my actual wrestling promotion. Please welcome Skyler Greenberg. Welcome back to the show.
This last week's show, I have lost all my hair due to the Joshua picks, and I'm scared of what he's going to give me this week.
Well, we're going to, I don't like the sound of that laugh, and I've already somewhat forgotten what the picks were. I know one, and I know I'm going to get him. And unfortunately, we have to start with JoshAgeddon's picks.
Yes!
So you, not all 3. So what you're going to give us, JoshAgeddon, now for those of you who are not keeping score at home, the way this works is that I went first last time, so now Skyler's going to get the first pick this time. For 16 through 30. JoshAgeddon has been giving us our curveball picks, and he is actually here today to moderate and react to us duking it out to get the best brand possible. And I have promised
to deliver some dank memes.
These memes galore, but there are memes, not other people's memes, because we're gonna sue other people if they use our memes, because that's just how things work now.
Like Skyler's come.
And like that is also, by the way, speaking of, just putting a little shout out there, if you're gonna buy some, don't buy it off Amazon. Go to Skyler's website. It goes more to the actual small business. It's better to help him out. He really is. He needs the money. Don't give Amazon the satisfaction. So,
this is what I regret for agreeing to join this.
So, and of course, it wouldn't have been the same without him. And now he gets to reveal the picks to us rather than me reciting both of them out. So I can react also organically, which helps in the entertainment value of having both of you on the show. So JoshAgeddon, you now have pick 16 to deliver first to Skyler's National Wrestling League.
Okay.
Now, you made me lose my hair last week. What are you going to make me lose this week?
The eyebrows that come out.
No hair left on your body.
No,
that's it.
None. I'm gonna slurp them all up. Okay, so pick number 16 for Skyler is a special one, keeping with the midget theme. Hornswoggle in 3MB attire.
Wow. I'm fine with that.
Somehow,
Especially the hair.
Going for the little people's division. He's giving him, in all fairness to you, you're giving him a full division. That is worth captivating and cultivating, and maybe, who knows where that's going to go, but I'm afraid of what you're going to give me.
All right, so the 16th pick for Sean's team is the one and only Dr. Britt Baker.
Okay. I can work with Dr. Britt Baker.
You're not that big a fan, which is exactly why I gave her to her. Maybe you can mold her? That was poorly phrased.
It could have been poorer phrased. But
By the way, I would just like to point out that Joshua has given me 3 midgets and a drag queen, and he has given Sean 4 legitimate wrestlers.
Well, 3 legitimate wrestlers and
Goldberg.
Be a wrestler. Also, I did not give you a drag queen. I gave you an 80-year-old drag queen. There's a difference.
Who is also the first Intercontinental Champion. I mean,
Yes.
not to discount Pat Patterson, but Pat Patterson has done a lot in this business.
Would he be going by Patricia? Patricia Patterson?
No, he'd probably just still be going by Pat Patterson, which makes it funnier.
You're making this worse. You're making this worse.
My
Can I just get to my pick?
It is okay. It is your turn. Pick 17. The floor is yours. This is what you won the predictions for. Who are you going to take?
So, the first part, I do want to say, on the first week of doing this draft, I was very happy building my main event, my mid-card, and I still am going to work on my mid-card a little bit, but the rest of this draft is going to be devoted to under guys and women.
Okay.
So, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, with this particular pick, I'm going to go to Sean's backyard, and I'm going to get a guy who is big and strong, who was really good at Impact, but
Beefy.
now is really shining in NWA. I select the NWA World Champion, Nick Aldis.
Ooh. Very good pick. I am very upset. That was a great first pick.
He was Magnus in TNA, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was,
Yeah, I know you're
and
talking
I knew Sean was going to pick him.
And
I knew it.
I'm upset because he was going to be like the second guy I picked. I'm happy he didn't pick the main guy though.
Got him from right underneath your nose.
He did. He stole a really valuable asset, and he was a guy I was really gonna use to kind of bring the whole show together.
He stole the wind from beneath your sails.
That he did. I will take that bump. I will take that bump. But like most good wrestlers and most good baby faces, I have resilience.
Yes.
And there is a man who is truly resilient in this business, who has fought his way to a prominent position and is making one of the only true passable pieces of work in every show he's on. Even when the rest of the show ends up being something of a train wreck. So with pick number 17, Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling selects Cody Rhodes. Silence. Wow. Harsh. Guys, I'm hurt.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with Cody Rhodes trying to out-bloody Ric Flair. I'm sorry, I just can't.
I can. He's doing it.
He's trying to give more blood to the American Red Cross than Ric Flair has.
That'd take a long time. You got to remember, Flair was doing that well into his 60s. Cody's got another 30 years and way more matches before he gets to that point.
How do you bleed in a match with Jungle Boy? It's Jungle Boy. He weighs less than JoshAgeddon.
That's saying something.
It is saying something.
I'm basically not even here.
But you're also both forgetting that this is also Cody Rhodes. And the crowd gets into everything he does. Now, keep in mind, I am not taking Brandy. And I'm gonna spoil something. I'm gonna spoil something here. In my next few picks, Brandy Rhodes ain't making anywhere close to the top of this list. I'm taking Cody Rhodes. Period. Full stop. Your turn, Mr. Greenberg. National Wrestling League. What's going on?
Okay, so this next pick is a little controversial, but
In what way is it controversial? Hold on, before you continue. In what way?
He recently had a controversy that has soured a lot of people on him. But I am taking him because of the charisma, the talent, and the fact that he took a dead-on-arrival gimmick and made it work. So with pick number 18, the National Wrestling League selects the Velveteen Dream.
Okay.
Wait, what happened with Velveteen Dream? I'm a little out of
Yeah, I'm also out of the loop here.
Supposedly, he sent nude pictures of himself to an underage girl.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. That's
That
He
may have
wanted her to
contributed
have a
to
Velveteen
why-
Dream too.
That supposedly contributed to why he lost his match against Adam Cole at In Your House. Which, side tangent, we are not reviewing any cinematic match shows. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I can't.
Are you suggesting that Velveteen Dream wanted to be in her house?
Probably, and probably would end up in jail if he got in her house.
Boy, the media is gonna love National Wrestling League. I have a feeling you and the press are gonna get along so nice.
Whatever.
And now Velveteen introducing his new finishing move, the Cradle Robber.
Well, I will say Velveteen Dream.
Mike Tyson.
Velveteen Dream is an interesting pick. He really is. But you've also left me with the next guy I needed to take. And I made a huge list here of like 60 people, and I wrote down this guy's name just recently, and it has nothing to do with his recent work. But I'm gonna need, with my mix of big guys, I'm gonna need some smaller guys who can still tell the story in the middle of all of the things I'm doing. Orange Cassidy's going to be an underneath guy. Well, I'll get rid of that out of the way. But I've got Ricochet. I've got Shorty G. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That was not a sarcastic thank you whatsoever.
He can never remove the basketball gear.
It's okay.
Not even when he showers in the locker room.
I will make it work. I will make it work. And the same thing about this guy is I don't need to make him work because he knows how to do it too well already. Adding to my undisputed era, I take Adam Cole.
Ooh. It's a good pick.
It's a good pick, and I would have picked him if I didn't already have a bunch of really strong guys in my upper mid card.
You do.
There was a sunrise in Panama, but now there's a sunrise in the Colonial Dungeon. Anyway.
Thank God. It's been dark as hell in here for the longest time.
By the way, I would just like to point out that Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole were taken in the same round.
Yeah.
Was
They
not
were.
planned.
Was not planned, and it happened in our house.
Yes.
Damn it.
Completely coincidental. That had nothing to do with it. Anyway, pick number 19, if you will.
Quickly becoming the Colonial Chris Hansen.
Oh, too soon.
That joke is lost on me, unfortunately.
We'll explain it to you later.
Yeah. That's an off-air conversation, I have a feeling.
So, let's see here. I'm going to look at my big board for a second because there's a couple people I want to look at. And I'm waiting in anticipation for when Joshua's next pick is going to happen.
That's pick 21.
I know. So, now that I have Nick Aldis,
Aldis. Hey, wait. If you're gonna take Nick Aldis, you better say his name right. Nick Aldis. Aldis. You know why? Because he's got all this.
Does he have these nuts?
Bitch, he might.
Thank you, Skyler.
But with Nick Aldis,
There we go.
I need to give him some help, and why not a tag team? I select from the NWA the wild cards, Thomas Latimer and Royce Isaac.
Okay. A good tag
I'm
team.
nodding and pretending to know who these people are.
I do know who these people are.
NWA that recently aligned with Nick Aldis in his fight with Tim Storm.
And among other people. They've interwoven quite a few storylines, which is actually kind of interesting. I've really enjoyed what NWA's been doing. And
Well, I know Sean knows who I'm picking, and I know Sean is not going to be happy about who I'm picking.
well, I'm not too worried about the wild cards. I mean, they're a great tag team. I will full-fledged give that to you. They are a terrific tag team, who I'm glad to see. But I don't want to take them too quick. I'm going to have to do something real quick, though, because Lucha Underground I look on with fondness for as much as I remember. And even though some of the stuff was hokey, they at least didn't ever go with the pretense that it was like a pro wrestling, like a fight, you know what I mean? Because they always put the storylines were like the most important thing. You still felt like it was a competition, but you liked it. And one of the people who shined in that, who I don't think does in a tag team, I'm gonna have to break from his tag team, because this man, his size is irrelevant when it comes to his demeanor. And I think his demeanor is really the best part of him. So with pick 19, Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling selects Pentagon Jr.
I love that man. I love that man.
He is everything and a bag of chips.
Just like if Rey Mysterio like got a lot bigger and started acting super gothic, that'd be Pentagon Jr.
Yeah, he truly impressed me in Lucha Underground. His even his TNA stuff was pretty good. I'm no fan of Sami Callihan, but I thought that his stuff with him was great. It's a shame, personally, what happened with him as far as getting with, like, I love Phoenix too, but I think that them as a tag team just has not clicked. Not because they're not good, but because they're not given anything to work with. If you know what I mean by that. Like, back when Pentagon was able to cut his own promos and really work on his own singles stuff, he just meant more to me. And so that is why number 19 is going to that man. How do you respond, Mr. National Wrestling League?
By turning in a completely different direction.
Okay.
And I'm going to make an announcement, and Sean, I don't know how you're going to feel about this one. The next 5 selections I'm going to make, besides 21, it could be 21, depends on what Joshua gives me. But the next 5 selections of my own are all going to be women.
Okay.
So you better be prepared for this.
I am prepared for this.
All right. Then the first woman I select. The first woman I select is a buzzsaw, and she is talented as hell, and she's gonna kick the shit out of all the women on my roster. I select with my pick, Asuka.
Ooh.
A fine selection, sir. She is
I can see it now. Asuka versus Pat Patterson.
Oh, it's gold. The storyline writes itself.
I need to borrow Mark Henry's theme song for that one.
Oh, God.
You're gonna get your wig split?
Mark Henry should be the referee.
Oh, God. No, Hornswoggle should be the ref of that match.
God.
No. Here's the thing. King of Trios, Hornswoggle, King Queasy, Dink the Clown. The mini clown leprechaun.
That could be your cruiserweight title match.
Good God. See, technically, Hornswoggle never lost the Cruiserweight Championship.
He retired with it.
I'm just saying. But while I find it admirable that you are heading in a different direction, I, in fact, am heading in a similar direction with the way I've gone, because there are other people that I need to secure, and the fact that you are going to use the next 5 picks on women gives me a bit of an opening. So with the 20th pick, I'm going to pick a tag team, because I've already picked 6 tag teams, and I want them to be on par with the world champions. I mentioned that last week. So with pick 20, I am going to choose the Hardys.
Oh, dude. You have any idea how many drugs you've just brought into your organization?
Well, see, I want the media to love me, too.
Now, I'll be honest, I consider the Hardys, but there's one problem, and that's time.
It is, but in the same vein, is that not the same reason you picked Edge? And I need some teams that are going to help push these other teams forward and move them along, and the Hardys are perfect for that.
But the difference is that I think Edge can still work. I don't think Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are what they once were.
I don't necessarily believe
cross-promotional match, Edge versus Matt Hardy, and the winning team with the winning person, Lita gets to go to that show.
Well, I'm gonna kind of do a hot take here.
Oh no.
I don't think Edge is as good as he once was either. I mean,
Well, we don't know because they only have two matches.
his time in the Rumble was good, but it wasn't a one-on-one match. His match against Orton is allegedly very, very long and also a cinematic.
They're still wrestling as we speak.
Yeah, apparently. And their match...
Wait until you see when they have the greatest wrestling match ever on Sunday.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the match I'm talking about. It's purportedly, after it's already been taped, it's very, very long. Allegedly. So...
Dude, how are they able to book the Tokyo Dome?
But certainly, they actually did it here. It was here in the Colonial Dungeon. They came through here like an hour ago and just started fighting. They broke like a bunch of pottery. I'm a little upset. Like they threw a suitcase at each other, and that suitcase had like a bunch of old like beer bottles that I had stashed in there, so they all smashed, and now I gotta clean that up. Like they didn't even bother to like ask to clean it up. The referee was just like throwing his hands up in the air going, "What are you gonna do? What are you guys gonna do next? Oh, am I even necessary here?" And the commentary was like, "Oh, now they're in the Colonial Dungeon. This is a fantastic match we are witnessing here. And we will be right back. Oh, no, we're not on a commercial. Oh, they're fighting upstairs. Well, oh, it's Tuesday. All right, then."
5 stars.
That's what happened. That word for word. Line crying, not shedding a tear.
And
JoshAgeddon, it's your turn.
It is my turn?
It is your turn to choose what National Wrestling League will be obtaining.
All right, the next pick for the National Wrestling League. Skyler, are you sitting down right now?
yes.
Good. Your next pick will be Eric Bischoff in his karate attire.
Wow.
Yes, because he had a match with Theodore Long at Survivor Series 2005, and he wore karate outfit.
But does it have to be active wrestler in the last year or so?
Eric Bischoff was employed with the WWE as an executive producer. I'm going to count that.
Bullshit,
He was on Raw 25.
Got you.
Eric Bischoff was on Raw 25.
Go wrong.
Eric Bischoff was able to stand, walk, and wave on an anniversary show for Raw. That is enough to make him worth being in karate gear.
That is true.
Dare I say, maybe the Karate Queens, Eric Bischoff and Pat Patterson?
Yes, absolutely. Book it.
At least I have the best theme song ever for a general manager.
I'm not trying to give you ideas, but
I'm not going to use your ideas.
Unfortunately, it is now my turn. Please, sir, be kind.
Now your turn, Sean.
Please be kind like you have been the entire time you've been picking for me, because I love all of these picks.
You are getting another female wrestler.
Okay.
Kind of. You are now getting Santina Marella.
Oh, no.
Not Santino. Santina.
Oh, man. That's... Okay. Okay.
And she has to be in the women's division.
Okay.
Dude, can you imagine a match where Dr. Britt Baker puts Santina in the lock and you just get a face full of Britt Baker shoving her fingers in Santino's mouth? Anyway,
I'm kind of surprised you didn't give me both Jared Briscoe. No.
you probably shouldn't have said anything, Skyler.
Santina Marella.
I was surprised you didn't give me Santina Marella and Pat Patterson and told me I had to have them wrestle in the tag team division as a tag team.
Dude, I just gave you another cross-promotional match.
I'm a bit speechless, and I'm dying a little bit inside. Honestly, my heart hurts just a little because I don't know what. This has legitimately been a curved ball that hit me square in the temple. So, while I'm recovering, it is your turn, National Wrestling League.
Now you know how it feels to have to book a cross-dresser. At least with mine, I figured out something I can do. And at least with yours, it's Santino, so he's still young enough that he can take a bump.
I mean, at the end of the Santino can work. So, at least he still can work.
Yeah, he can work that sock.
But, by the way, to be clear, Joshua does count this as active wrestler because he did show up at the Women's Royal Rumble.
He
so
did.
It does count, Sean.
He did. I know. I accept it. I accept it. But it is your turn.
So, now that I have Charlotte and Asuka, I need a powerhouse in my roster. I need a girl with strength, with extreme size, and I'm picking a girl who is not like most girls.
Wow.
She is the former EST of NXT Iceland Bianca Belair, and you thought I was going to take
Skyler,
Jack,
I'm
didn't you?
actually going to murder you. Don't do that to me. I really like Bianca Belair. How dare you?
Bianca Belair, but that was a good swerve.
I was going to take Nia Jax, didn't you?
No,
That would have been Nia jacked up.
I didn't think there was no way you were gonna do that in light of recent events. There was no way. Pick
Are
22.
you sure? Because I took
I was
Velveteen
about to
Dream.
say Skyler. I didn't know you hated your own roster.
Well, after you gave me 2 midgets.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a hand in that.
Dude, booking Hornswoggle versus Nia Jax.
Jesus God.
I'm not booking that.
Jesus God.
John, go to your pick.
I know. I'm looking through my list, trying to.
To be clear, the wild card thing with Joshua was all Sean's idea. I didn't really do it.
It was, and I'm okay with this because I'm still gonna make it work.
My laptop started working.
I'm still gonna make it work. And another man who can make it work, and I want to make it work, and I gotta take this man right now because he's the only one who hasn't gotten the opportunity, the real opportunity, I believe. He's done great work before. He can do great work again, even if he's not at that stage to start. This man, I don't know if you two know this, but this man has fathered some children. And as a fine, high-class individual who has fathered children, I selecteth Heath Slater.
He's got.
Damn it! Damn it! I wanted him. Ah!
And who would have thought that a man like Heath Slater would be so desirable? I did.
know.
He would have been a good. Damn it! Now he's screwed up my plan.
Had to take him. You know, that's vengeance for Aldis, man. That was kill. That was a dagger into the solar plexus.
Yes.
I can figure.
Very
I can figure
specific
something out.
knife placement.
It is now pick 23.
All right, let's see here. So, as I said, I need to continue picking women, and I'm going to pick another woman who is fairly young, but has a lot of potential and has already wrestled a lot of great matches around the world. So, the National Wrestling League selects Toni Storm.
Toni Storm, okay.
I just rewatched her match with Rhea Ripley for the UK women's title. It's a pretty good match.
Yeah. I haven't really seen much of Toni Storm. I think I saw the Rhea Ripley match, which was pretty good. But I think that's pretty much all I've seen of her. But I mean, I like what she does. But, and you know, what I like even more is that you're headed in the direction of NXT UK. And speaking of NXT UK, there's a guy who is literally right up my alley. I've been sitting on him. I was waiting to see whether you'd take him. I wasn't sure whether you would, but now I know I'm going to have to. Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling selects Walter.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's a very good pick.
It was an option for me if one of my picks that's coming up doesn't get picked.
Well, there's plenty of picks left.
Little teaser later, but Walter is a great pick.
Thank you, sir.
He's got the size, he's got the charisma. Dude is just
He is the total package without being Lex Luger.
And speaking of dominating, I need a woman who has come on the scene recently and truly has blossomed into a great wrestler. And speaking of NXT UK, I'm going to take the other half of that match. I select Rhea Ripley.
Ooh. Just don't put her up against Charlotte.
Or do.
God, no. God, no.
You can. You're the one booking it. So you could make that match acceptable.
I don't think I can make it acceptable. The only thing I could maybe do is maybe I could dress Rhea Ripley up as Goku and then she'll win.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And you know what else is a great idea? Making someone a jobber to a world champion for no reason except of, capitalizing on a foreign market. And
You're not going to do what I think you're doing, aren't you?
And I was inspired. I really was inspired by this week's match of the week.
No, don't do it.
Oh, no.
And because I truly do believe that this man has more than he's ever been given, and has more, and if he was handled, I said it on the show, if this man had been given to Bill Watts in Mid-South in the 80s, he would have been a multiple-time world champion throughout Mid-South, even perhaps if he was willing to travel around, an NWA world champion heel. He has the look. He was getting into the work. His stuff looked convincing. They booked his stuff like crap, and I can do it better. And so I choose, with pick 24, the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal.
He will not hinder the Jinder.
I will not hinder the Jinder at all. I will support the Jinder.
And since
Now you need to draft Randy Orton and book Jinder Mahal over Randy Orton.
Since Skyler's drafting a bunch of women, does that mean he's also not hindering the Jinder?
He can't now. He legally can. I'll sue him. You legally cannot. I will delete your tweets faster than Jinder Mahal has the Singh brothers interfere in his matches.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, let's see here. So, Asuka, Bianca, Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley. Okay, I need one more woman. And with my next pick, I'm going to pick a woman who is completely different from the other 5 women I have already selected, because I need to get some different styles into my women's division. And I know you don't like this pick, Joshua, but I'm not drafting for you. And to join her husband and brother-in-law on my roster, NWL selects Naomi.
You know what? I'm going to give that one to you. She's better than most of her matches would show.
It's just that her booking sucks.
It's just that her moves
You know what? I will
are
decline to comment on this particular occasion.
I like Naomi. I think she's got a good amount of charisma. I think that she connects with the crowd. She messes up a lot. But it's almost okay because she's not really hurting anybody. She's just kind of looking like a goof.
Right. But look at my women's division.
Someone who has epilepsy ever comes to one of her shows, that entrance will do a number on them.
Yeah. But speaking of which, look at my women's division. Charlotte, Asuka, Toni Storm, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Naomi. And look at Sean's women's division. Britt Baker and Santina Marella.
Well, you see, here's the
women, you know where to go.
Here's the thing.
You have Patricia Patterson, so you can't really say anything.
Okay. You wanted to go controversial. I'm now going to reveal you've activated my controversial trap card. And my controversial trap card is that I will not have a women's division.
Ooh, I knew you were going to do that.
Now, let me explain. Now, for all those of you who have already taken the quote out of context and are bashing me on social media, good for you. But for those of you who want to hear the context, let me explain. I want ACPW to make money, and I know that sounds bad. Just listen. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. Listen. So, I want to have enough concentration on the divisions that I do have, and working at those and cultivating those and getting those to draw money so that in 6 months' time to a year's time, I can unveil a women's division, which will bring additional intrigue. It'll be a boost into certain things that, everyone will be like, yes, we've been pining for a women's division. 6 months of clamoring, you don't have a women's division, pigs, misogynists, blah, 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 blah. Getting the heat, finally giving the people what they want after withholding it from them for a certain amount of time, and finally giving it to them and being able to cultivate that after I've already got the established stars who can draw the money. Then I can add the women in to further feature and complement what's already been established and get them to a point where is of equal importance to the show as the men are. But if I don't get the top stars over first, then we're dead in the water. That's all. That's my personal opinion on it. I'm not trying to be, I only like men, herp-a-derp-er. No, that's not the case.
You are such a sexist bastard.
So, quick question, Joshua. Are you going to get, with your final wildcard pick, are you going to get a shot a woman?
No, he's not. I know who he's going to give me, and no, he's not.
Yeah, I know.
So, as it stands, the ACPW Women's Championship will be between Britt Baker and Santina Marella.
No, you're not understanding me, though. There is no women's division. There is no women's championship.
So they're just a special attraction.
And right now, they are on the roster.
Sean, hashtag give divas a chance.
Okay, no, we're not doing this. Just make your pick already.
Hashtag let me establish myself. That's it. I'm not knocking women. I'm not knocking women at all. That's not the point. I want to establish the show in and of itself. Think of New Japan. Think of New Japan and the way that they go about their things. That's all I'm saying. And the success that New Japan has for its established stars. And the way that draws money in Tokyo. That's all I'm doing here until I unveil a women's division later. That's all.
Okay, how are you going to establish yourself if I beat you in the ratings?
Because not everything is week to week, Mr. Sir. Sometimes there's slow builds and slow burns to finally give payoff and slowly attracting people in the more they see the product, rather than blowing the wad on the first time and then going, I have to change my pants next week.
I'm the king of blowing wads. But anyway, I have a question.
Yes.
I know you said you're not knocking the women, but if you do start knocking the women, will the women that you're currently knocking get a push?
I'm not going to use my position of power to take advantage of women, sir, because I'm not a misogynist pig. I am going to treat the women in the same way I would treat the men, with the same level of pay when it comes to where they are on the card and how that works. And I would not in any way treat those women like inferior beings. They're just not going to show up for a little bit. That's
Skyler,
all.
Can you believe this guy?
I mean, you're the one that gave me 3 midgets, a cross-dressing 80-year-old.
Yeah, so you have literally no room to say a word. Mr. Santina Marella.
You gave us 2 cross-dressers and 3 midgets. So
Yes.
Shut up, Joshua.
Yes.
John, pick your next pick.
I'm going to take my next pick, but I will say, in all wrapping around this whole deal, I'm going to take now a woman.
I'm shocked.
Because the long-term scheme of how they're worked in to start and what I want them to be and what they will eventually turn into being requires this person who I liked way back when she started in TNA in 2010. My pick, the 25th pick, is Zelina Vega.
Ooh.
Oh, no!
Skyler,
No! No, she's supposed to manage Andrade.
Not today. No.
Now she's going to be competing with Andrade.
Damn it! I didn't think you were going to do that.
Zelina Vega is a tremendous manager. And she will be a tremendous manager in Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling.
Hold on. Didn't you make the rule that we didn't have to draft managers and we could share them?
Yes, but I've officially drafted this person. If you draft them, they're yours exclusively. When the draft is over, whoever's left can be used interchangeably.
damn it! I didn't think you would do that.
Bazing! Mr.
I'll just have Andrade be managed by Charlotte.
Now, to add to the suck sauce, though, JoshAgeddon, it is time for your final pick for Mr. National Wrestling League.
All right, Skyler. Well, earlier, when Sean drafted Cody, I had to switch my last one because the last one I was going to give you, Skyler, was going to be Stardust, and you would have to keep the gimmick. But I can't do that anymore, so I had to switch it to something even worse.
Unless you force Sean to have to wrestle with Stardust.
Well,
No, it's too late. I picked him as Cody.
Yeah, he's taking Cody. So,
Damn it.
to complete the midget quadruplet, whatever, you are now going to be employing Marco Stunt.
Wow.
However,
And the weeps of Skyler Greenberg fill the podcast.
if he ever flosses, you have to fire him.
Okay, that's an easy. That'd be an easy ask for me, because you know what I would do? I'd be like, all right, Marco, you're gonna start off the show. You're gonna kick it off. You're gonna go right out there. You're gonna floss for the people, and then you're gonna walk out, and I'm gonna see you later. And that would be how I start my show.
He gave me a wrestler. At least he finally gave me a wrestler.
Is he a wrestler though?
No, I disagree.
I suppose.
But speaking of people who aren't wrestlers, I hate you. I hate you so much right now.
Well, this person is
Just get it over with.
taller than Marco Stunt, but younger. Sean, you have now drafted Nicholas
I hate you.
because he has technically been in a match and is a former Raw Tag Team Champion.
No.
And he was
God.
and he was never pinned.
Yeah, it was never pinned. He is unpinned in his professional wrestling career.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh, I just thought of
And anyone who wrestles Nicholas is gonna get these hands.
And it was at WrestleMania, so he is your Undertaker.
Well, then I'm gonna have to do.
I'd just like to point out that Nicholas has more wins at WrestleMania than Sasha Banks.
If here's the thing, if Nicholas is my Undertaker, then I gotta put the dream match of Nicholas versus Goldberg.
Yes, please do it. Nicholas versus Goldberg.
I want to see Goldberg botch a jackhammer on Nicholas.
Spearing through the barricade.
Oh my god.
And then he kicks out at 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, JoshAgeddon, thank you so much for your picks.
You're
Now get
welcome,
the fuck
buddy.
out.
This is why we had you here. 4 more to go.
No, you can stay if you want.
4 more to go. Sky.
That curveball, Sean, that was a curveball from T-ball, which is what Nicholas plays, because he's 12.
I think he's 13
Good
now.
for him.
He's a teenager.
Good for him.
He still plays T-ball though. It's adorable.
Cool.
Speaking of adorable, I'm going to go with someone who squashes adorable.
Adorable. Oh, you're adorable. I'm gonna go pop you one.
And Sean, you made the point that I have a very small roster that has now gotten even smaller thanks to drafting Marco Stunt.
Yes.
Indeed.
So with my next pick, I'm going with a big man
Big boy.
known as the Limitless One. I select Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Oh, that's a big. Dude, Marco Stunt versus Keith Lee.
Pat Patterson versus Keith Lee.
Pat Patterson versus Marco
Three
Stunt.
midgets versus Keith Lee.
Ooh, could we see it?
Oh,
Could we
God.
see Keith Lee and the New Day getting a little goings on?
He would totally do that.
He would totally do that. He would 100% totally do that.
Maybe.
Maybe. But what I'm going to do is go finish off my tag division with another team that has got so much experience and so much time on their hands. Guys that could put new teams over as they came in. I'm going to select the Briscoes.
Ooh.
The Briscoes.
What tag teams do you have now?
How many? That's 8.
Okay.
That's 8 tags for multiple matches on shows that are going to be diverse enough to where you might not have to see 7 singles matches or do 4 ways or blah-de-blah-de-blah. Tags.
All the tag teams.
All the tag teams. Well, not all the tag teams, but a lot of the tag teams. 8 tag teams, in fact.
Dude, what if you made Goldberg and Nicholas a tag team, and Nicholas never tags in?
No, I do that opposite. I do it Goldberg and Nicholas tag, and Goldberg never tags in. The matches would be better.
At least Nicholas can take a bump.
He could. And his bumps would be wicked convincing, seeing how he wouldn't have to do a whole lot of learning how to fall.
And he wouldn't give The Undertaker a brainbuster by accident.
No. Or just falling him on his head.
So, speaking of tag teams, I'm going to take one that just formed and technically has 1 match on Raw, but they still count. I select Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy.
Austin Theory, who I know nothing about, and
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy, who is actually quite a good tag team wrestler.
Yep.
I like Buddy as a tag worker. I liked him back when he and Alexa Bliss were doing their thing with that other guy, Blake, Wesley Blake.
Who's now part of the Forgotten Sons.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
And
I forgot.
And now has to be forced to defend Jackson Riker.
Yeah. I'm not going to take him, probably. But...
Wasn't Jackson Riker a gunner in TNA?
Yes, I liked him as Gunner.
Before he revealed that he was racist.
He's too much of a PR shitstorm. It's not that he isn't good, it's just he's too much of a PR shitstorm. And I've already got the Hardys. And it's like, I gotta kind of let it, and I'm like, that's not a knock on Matt. Not at all a knock on Matt or anything like that. But speaking of, we're down to the nitty-gritty here. And I'm going to have to choose some nitty-gritty wrestlers to round out this roster. But right now, I need an underneath guy. I need a guy who can make people look good. I need a guy who you wouldn't expect to be as good as he is. And it's going to be a guy that neither of you have seen a single match of. I almost guarantee it. And I want everybody who's out there to look this man up. I will have him link to a match of his in the description if I can find one. I select with pick 28, the Man Scout, Jake Manning. Look him up.
I thought you were going to pick yourself.
To Google.
Yes. Head to the Googles. Head to them internets. And particularly... He's had particularly look for his for Northeast Wrestling, who I've promoted many times on the show. Look for his match in the over-the-top Battle Royal, which is basically a Rumble. His bell-to-bell victory from 1 to winner. Check out his match against, believe it or not, Alberto El Patron from, I think, 2018. Was great. Most of what he's done has been absolutely terrific. I've always been a big fan of him. He's got a big backing. When you go to the shows, he gets a huge pop every single time. This guy is worth watching. He's a 14, 15-year pro. He does some hokey stuff, like wrestles like an actual Coleman tent, which I've seen happen. That's the hokey stuff, but when he wants to be serious, his serious stuff is absolutely tremendous. He's worth the watch. I will try to find some matches for you, but full-fledged endorsement here from the Colonial Champion for this man. Now back to your regularly scheduled National Wrestling League selection.
He's got a good mustache.
He's got a great mustache. He's got a great mustache. This dude knows how to work. Yeah, I've seen... You got 2 more.
To round out my tag team division at 6, And to get a little bit of flair into my tag team division, I select Grand Metalik and Kalisto. I am not referring to them as their WWE. We'll find something else.
So the artists formerly known as the Lucha House Party
Yes.
are coming to National Wrestling League. They're good
But
wrestlers,
I'm not calling them that.
but they are Lucha, and they live in a house, and they've been known to party, but they're not the Lucha House Party.
Exactly.
Got to make that perfectly clear. Now I'm kind of at a crossroads because there's a lot of guys I'd really like to take at this moment who are really good, and I only have 2 picks left. But I'm gonna try to use these last 2 picks not on guys who are established, but guys who I believe either should have been established and never got the shot, or are pet projects of mine. So with the 29th pick, I select the last real man, Silas Young.
Not sure I'm familiar.
Silas Young is another finely mustachioed man, which is no coincidence. Mustaches usually are a big turn-on for me when it comes to picking who I am choosing, such as Robert Roode. This Silas Young was Ring of Honor's resident real man, real worker, who would just slap the piss out of people and just beat them up. He's exactly the old school, my kind of wrestler. Guy who should have been in more. I'm not sure why he was not. And I'm all about. I am not quoting Shane McMahon, and I'm not saying that we are this, but I want Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling to be a land wherein there lies opportunity.
That was very clever.
But not the land of opportunity, because that's a crock of BS.
Right, there's Tag Nation Blue, Land of Opportunity, and then there's WWE SmackDown Land of Opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And mine is just a land wherein lie opportunities.
But now I need to find a Mr. Irrelevant, and he took Heath Slater, so he couldn't be my Mr. Irrelevant.
That's right. And now you're on the last pick. This is your last shot.
I'm going to go with another guy who is probably a Mr. Irrelevant. And in the wake of everything that's happened recently, I want to give him a shot. So with my last pick in the 2020 Fantasy Draft, the National Wrestling League selects Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
He's going to drink some beer tonight.
He's got a radio. And it tells him everything. And it tells him everything he knows.
Oh, tell me everything you know.
That is the most beautiful cover of any lyric I've ever heard in my entire life. He's got a
I nailed it. I know.
radio.
I know. I try. And the things that I do to try, that's all I ever ask for, is the acknowledgement that I'm trying with some of these people. And
Yes.
and this guy, I'm going to give you a list of people I was going to take and decided not to over this man, just to give you the idea of how much I want to pet project him. I gave up selecting Adam Page. I gave up selecting Jungle Boy. I gave up selecting Shinsuke Nakamura. I gave up choosing Tyler Bate and Shawn Spears. I gave up drafting Dominik Dijakovic. To pick this man who I believe is going to cater to a demographic that otherwise I would not have much success doing, I think, without this man, because he's a great personality, he's a good guy, and he's a great ambassador.
And who is Mr. Irrelevant?
Oh, he's not irrelevant. He's not going to be irrelevant, not on my show. Mr. Irrelevant was already chosen for me.
Yeah, Nicholas.
This man is going to get a push, and I'm going to find what works for him, and I think I've got it. With the last pick in the Ultimate Fantasy Draft, Atlantic Coast Pro Wrestling selects Titus O'Neil.
Oh.
make sure you wax the entrance ramp.
He ain't falling on my watch.
Good.
That's
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised with the way you were building it up. I thought you were going to say Brock Lesnar.
yeah, I don't feel like Brock Lesnar brings anything to the table with ACPW. Because I don't think he has the casual fan attraction draw that they've said he does. I don't think people care much about Brock anymore, to tell you the truth. Either in wrestling or otherwise. So, and that's no knock on Brock. I mean, I love Brock as a worker. It's just for my purposes, I need some pet projects. And Titus O'Neil will be my pet project. And that, gentlemen and ladies, if there are even such watching this, that is the draft. How do you guys feel?
Liberated.
Can I make a trade?
No.
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 You can have any of my 3 midgets.
Before this deteriorates any further, we have to take our first commercial break. So, Josh, again, thank you for being on the show and making our lives miserable.
Dabs a lot.
Dabs a lot.
Dabs.
Sir Dabs a lot. Skyler Greenberg, thank you for being on this draft, and we will see you next week for our first set of shows.
But you'll see me next week when I lose even more hair.
Not possible anymore. But to that, with that
Is
said,
it the hair down there?
that said, no,
It is.
we're out of here. We're going to the guys. Cut it. Go to break. Go to break.